I think a lot of it actually was born out of people looking at personalities. And when people started to really see through things like Myers-Briggs and DISC, and you started to see sort of archetypes. And then all of a sudden people were like, oh, well, if this works for personalities, then maybe this also exists in a generational space. And it definitely does. What happens during your childhood impacts you the rest of your life. And even if you do mature and grow up, which we all hope you do, there are still nuggets of it that's pretty much going to stay with you for the rest of your life. And that's why you can turn on certain radio stations and know every single song that comes on, because it was the soundtrack of your childhood and your early adulthood. And then you can literally go one station over and be like, I don't know any of this. Why did anyone ever think this was good music? Right. So we know that this definitely exists. Toys, pop culture, parenting trends, all of these things come together. And I think part of why we're so fascinated right now is that we've just never had a generation stay in as long. We've just never had anybody stay in it as long as the boomers are staying in it, and with no end in sight. And so I think that that's kind of causing more discussion around it, because those Gen Xers who quite honestly could handle a lot of the new things that the Gen Zs and the millennials are asking for with no problems, we're still not into the decision-making capacity. And so I think that's why it's maybe intensified a little bit more. And you've got a lot of much older people sitting on boards of directors and wanting to understand where their dollars are going. And it's just so different. And then, of course, when you add internet on top of all that, that changes the game as well.
True. Yeah.